We just found that buck again. He's bedded down. I see the blood on him. His head is kind of going like this. We're just gonna leave him be and hopefully we can go get him tomorrow. Oh my god, dude. What a... Oh, hunting is wild, man.
January is without a doubt one of my favorite months in my home state of Arizona. The combination of good friends, living in the dirt, and opportunity to hunt rutting Coues bucks with our bows is one that never runs stale. Each year a group of friends and I load up our backpacks and call the hills that the gray ghost haunts our home for a minute. We live among them, all the while trying to sneak into bow range with hopes of bringing home just a fraction of the Coues country we hold so dear.
So far that looks like does over there. Do you see where are you looking?
I was looking straight across where the space kind of just goes out into the creek bottom here.
Okay, there's another group of deer. So if you go on that longer face and you go up over that hump right there, and then down, it flattens out
right
over in there. There's another group of deer right there
on the top.
Yeah, so far it looks like they're all does so far. We got 2 bucks spotted so far, 2 small guys that are sparring over here. There's like, I don't know how many. I've already lost count of how many does we've seen.
That first evening, we lost count of how many deer we saw. Among all of those deer, there was 1 buck that made all of our jaws drop, though. His body dwarfed every other deer in the area. His antlers were thick and dark. He was in a good spot for a stalk right from the get-go, so I made a run at him. Just like Coues deer do, though, he evaporated into thin air, and I was left walking back to camp with a full quiver of arrows.
Man, I think that buck saw us. He either saw us or he just chased us away. You know, that's how the rut is. That's how hunting during the rut is. You kind of go all over the place. But it was worth a try. He wasn't that far away. First evening, we've been glassing like 15 minutes. We got packed in earlier this morning, and got everything set up and sat down and started seeing deer right away. So we've got some days out here, so it should be fun. That's definitely not the last stalk that we go on. Be a fun week.
I'm so pumped for this new long spoon, dude.
Oh, once you go long spoon, you never go back.
Yeah. Funny story. Heather actually bought this for me the last time we came for this backpack hunt.
Oh, you were telling me you forgot it.
We misplaced it. Yes. And all I had was that little bitty stubby one. The cheesy knuckle one.
Yep. Just digging in.
Yeah, it's hard. Cheesy knuckles.
Cheesy knuckles.
Serious problem.
Yeah.
So Gabe went after this
spike buck not too long ago. I just found a pretty nice buck. He looks like a 3x4, so I'm kind of trying to keep eyes on him. He's by himself. I think he's kind of searching for does right now based on how he's moving. But yeah, just gotta see what he does, and if he holds up somewhere, make a run at him, or if he starts rutting does, probably gonna get over there. Spot and stalking rutting Coues deer with a bow is all about calculated aggression, in my opinion. The deer are being aggressive, so you be aggressive. And the more at-bats you get, the sharper you get. I did go after that 3x4 buck that morning. In the end, I got picked off by a few unseen does. Part of me was glad, though. That buck from the first day just kept lurking in the back of my mind. With any luck, I'd get another run at him. And then on our third evening, as if he wanted us to see him, the buck that consumed my thoughts stood out on a distant ridge as the sun said its goodbyes. The next morning couldn't come soon enough. Relocating bucks during the rut can prove difficult sometimes, as deer movement is random. For whatever reason, though, this buck stayed put. It put a smile on my face that morning when we found him hanging with a doe not far from where he originally was. I was elated to get another opportunity at him. I'd just have to hope the urges of the rut wouldn't send him out of our view.
Good luck, man. You got it.
Thanks, man. So, we relocated a bigger buck from last night and got him in this little cut. So I made the loop around, and Eric guided me in with hand signals. And I could not see where this buck was, so I started throwing rocks to see if he would like stand up or something. And I threw a rock, and then I see beneath me, I see his antlers go like that. And he was right beneath me. I had this buck at 15 yards for 2 hours. I stood above him. Eventually he gets up, he starts working to my right, so I kind of go around. I have a tree right here, so I kind of go around and try to head him off. But what he actually did was he went like this, went this way, so I came back around. He walks up on the hill, and I have him at 70 yards broadside, pull back, then he turns directly away from me. So I let down, he turns again, quartering away, pull back, stop him, let the arrow go. I heard the arrow hit him, and I saw him for all of about 2 seconds before he went around a hill. Eric saw him boogieing down into the bottom of a draw, and he said he wasn't looking that good, so like he was struggling a little bit. So fingers crossed. He's a really nice buck. I hope that he's just laying down there dead. We're going to give him plenty of time. It's been just over an hour so far. So we're going to sit here, hang out, have some snacks, and then go see if we can find my arrow and stuff. See if we can find some signs. So I hate this part of hunting. So yeah, we're just trying to keep positive thoughts going. Alright, just found my arrow sticking in the ground. I'm gonna hit him a little bit back, so we're gonna go down the trail a bit, see what kind of blood we find, and just take it from there. My heart sank a little bit when we found my arrow. Instead of that bright red blood you hope to see, it was green. A classic sign of a gut shot. Just as we rounded that hill, I spotted the buck bedded beneath a tree, but had no shot at him. The buck eventually got up and slowly walked away. I tried to push down on him, but the vegetation wouldn't allow for another shot. We decided to back out, let him be, and come back over to this area in the morning. Until then, we'd hope that maybe, just maybe, we'd pick him up in the glass from afar. We just found that buck again. He's bedded down. I see the blood on him. His head is kind of going like this. We're just gonna leave him be, and hopefully we can go get him tomorrow. Oh my god, dude. What a... We watched him for about probably 30 minutes, I'd say, until dark. We watched him until we couldn't see anymore, and he just kept... He would get up, walk like 7 yards, and then bed down again. And by walk, I mean, there was a few times we thought he was going to fall over. He looks like he's having a real hard time. He's panting a lot, his mouth's open. So, fingers crossed, we're going to set up and glass that hill again, see if we can see him. If we don't, we're just going to make our way over there and start going to each one of his beds and checking under all the trees over there. The good thing is there's not a ton of trees, so it should make like finding where he may have wanted to bed down fairly easy, as long as he stayed on that hill. So got a long night ahead of us, especially me. I'm either going to sleep really well or I'm going to sleep like crap tonight. Just got to our glassing spot. We're going to sit here, glass the whole hillside that we saw that buck on last night. We watched him till dark. We're going to stay up top, glass that hillside first for a bit, see if we can pick him up, and if not, we know exactly where we last saw him, and we're just going to get there and start looking. So it looks good. He was in real bad shape, so I think we're going to find him. We haven't seen anything, hoping that's a good sign. And then he's tucked up under a bush over here, so we're going to drop our heavy stuff off at camp and make our way over there and start searching. So my stomach is turning.
Yes! Oh my god, dude! I cannot believe it. Oh my god. This could get stuff, dude. Holy crap!
The feeling of relief finding this buck brought me to the ground. We try so hard in the off-season practicing our shooting so things like this don't happen. Even so, there are some things we'll never be able to control. That's part of hunting. All we can do is go through the motions, and the rest is up to fate. And sometimes fate is not on your side. Luckily for me, This time it was, and this old Coues buck would leave these hills with us. Grateful doesn't even come close. We head into Coues Camp with the hopes of bringing home a fraction of the country we love. Sometimes we're successful, and other times we're not. What is true, though, is that while we're striving to harness a piece of that Coues country for our own, we also lose a piece of ourselves. In the end, with unwavering adoration, we never truly leave those hills or that camp. They remain in our thoughts and continuously remind us of the month of January. Until next time.